Okay, it's 5:30, so we will start our meeting with a roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Here.
Commissioner Barwick.
Here.
Commissioner Webb.
Here.
Commissioner Stecklin.
Here.
Mayor Absher.
Here, would you all stand and join me in Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, that brings us to item 3 on the agenda, which is the audience to visitors. This is subject to 2 ordinances that are up here by the flowers that regulate this part of the meeting. I need to do a better job of regulating this part of the meeting, and part of that is that each speaker, unless time is extended by me or by the council, is generally limited to 5 minutes. So is there anybody who'd like to speak to the council this evening? Well, I made that speech for nothing. Okay, we'll move on to consent agenda. Hearing nobody, no requests to come speak before the council. Consent agenda tonight consists of items A, B1 and B2, and C. Anybody on the council want any of these items or sub-items removed from the consent agenda and voted upon separately? Anybody from our audience want? Are you leaving already?
We're leaving.
Okay, well that was anticlimactic. Anybody from the audience want any of these items or sub-items removed from the consent agenda and voted upon separately? Okay, hearing no requests, we entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda as presented then.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions or comments on any of these items? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Under new business, item 5, building and code services. We've got a zoning board request for approval, or recommendation of approval, the zoning change request, 1302 West Cherry, PIN 0624126010. There's an ordinance involved with that, 3894. It's currently zoned as R2. The owner's request is to rezone it to C1. That was approved by the zoning board and there was nobody there to contest that, right, Cody?
Correct.
Our comments. Anybody here to speak on this item by chance tonight, you guys?
We're here.
Are you here to speak in opposition or favor of it, or just, okay. Are you with Centristone? Okay. I'll just put that form of a motion to affirm the zoning board's approval of that zoning change as I already read.
Second that.
Any questions you guys have on this? Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton.
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin.
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Would you guys like to leave? Since everybody's bailing?
If that's okay.
Well, I don't think anybody will stop
Don't want
you.
to be rude.
No.
That's okay. It's dinner time, we understand.
All of America will see you as you pass them.
Well, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Okay, item 6A and B. This is just reading this into the minutes. I'm gonna do probably a bad job of explaining this, but the TIF statutes dictate that no elected official can have property within a TIF district. I know 3 years, probably when I was first elected, we had removed property that was in the TIF district. The kind of thing that doesn't make sense in this is that even if you're not receiving any benefits from TIF, it's still, you have to take the property out. So I think, Cody, it's in all of us a conflict of interest declaration form. I think we just need to read these into the minutes. We'll have to act on this later. So item 6A and B is simply that Commissioner John Stecklin has disclosed that he's got property within a TIF district. I think that's in the Meadowland TIF. We'll have to take action at some point in the future to remove that parcel of property. And again, just to be clear, Commissioner Steckland isn't receiving any financial benefit from that, neither was I when we removed the property 3 or 4 years ago, whenever that was. And similarly, Commissioner Patton has disclosed on a conflict of interest declaration form. I don't know what TIF that was in or what property, 2 different properties?
Residential.
Those are rental properties you have or something? Okay. So again, we'll need items A and B. We'll have to act on that through ordinance at some point and modify the TIF districts.
What if a person, what if your residence was in the TIF, you have to move, I guess?
No, we just have to take the parcel out.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, items, and again, it has no bearing whether you even have a TIF redevelopment agreement on it or not, so you have something to add to on this. Okay, item 6C, we've got a TIF redevelopment agreement also in Meadowland with CCS Real Estate Holdings LLC. Cody, are you walking up here? Did you have a
Yeah,
comment
no, I
on
was
this?
just gonna address this item. So, the developer, Dr. Craig Smith, that had built Pet Wellness Center, owns all the property between Pet Wellness and Meadowland Parkway. So he's moving forward with a development plan on that piece that will essentially subdivide that property and allow for 1 to 2 acre tracts of land to be sold off, multiple 1 to 2 acre tracts of land to be sold off for multiple users out there. So he had a TIF agreement already. We're simply amending that agreement to allow for more costs now that he's going to have additional costs incurred for extensions of utilities, essentially, is all this does. So this allows for him to have more eligible costs.
Okay, I move to approve ordinance 3893, approving the Meadowland Parkway TIF redevelopment agreement amendment with CCS Real Estate Holdings LLC.
I had a question, I'm sorry. Oh,
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a question?
Yeah. So we essentially had this agreement in place,
Yeah.
we're just amending it.
We're just upping the eligible cost that he has to turn in, because he's at his cap presently.
If I remember, we had done something with that subdivision as a block of land, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and I don't,
This is he's subdividing it.
he will, this
Right.
doesn't approve that subdivision.
Right.
He still has to go through all those
Right.
channels to get that work
Right.
done.
Right.
This is simply the TIF benefit associated with that project.
Okay.
And this is not residential subdivision.
No, no, it'll be commercial.
This is commercial.
Yeah, yeah, he'll look for commercial users out there.
Do you know what the total estimated project costs were on the first one?
I can tell you real quick. It was north of $1 million, and he's submitted costs already to that effect in full. He had around 1.2 initially, so this ups it by about 500,000.
Okay.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay?
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay?
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Steckland,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yeah, item 6D is in TIF 1, and this is this building that was what was the prior, that was that,
This is College Street.
oh, this is College Street. Never mind. Just about misspoke. So this is on the corner of College and Holland,
Holland?
right? Yeah. And that would be, I'll go ahead and move forward and discuss ordinance 3895, a residential TIF 1 redevelopment agreement with Yellow Door Builders LLC for the Tower Square Art District project.
I'll second.
Any questions on this? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Item 7, Commissioner Barwick.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommendation of the Police and Fire Merit Board to hire Eli Harlan and Josh Haynes to 2 open firefighter positions, terms per the collective bargaining agreement. The proposed firefighters are not here tonight. One of them had a conflict with his previous job. We hope to have them here if we vote to affirm this, that they'll be here in the next meeting to introduce themselves.
These guys gotta go through the academy.
They do.
When's that class start?
It's closer to the fall. The good thing though, the state is still picking up the tab for the academy.
I'll second your motion.
Any questions on this item?
Is that fully staffed now?
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Item 8, Commissioner Webb.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the low bid for the 2023 street overlay program to Samron for $2,247,998. And that'd be my motion.
I'd second that.
Any questions on this?
Do we know how many feet, miles, or whatever?
Yep.
Things
Well, there's several, let's
Approximate?
Mayor has that, I do know it's, I was reading, it's 12,370 tons.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Some of that depends on the width of the street stuff, so it's a little bit hard to.
This is double what we've done last year.
I thought this was much higher.
Yeah, we've deferred a lot of this, and just, we're gonna have to cobble together the funds from different sources, including TIF, to get this together, but this will be a substantial amount of streets. Is that, linear son, that's square yards? Do you recall, Glenn, off the top of your head, how many feet or miles of street this is gonna end up being?
No,
I did know that number, and I don't have that master with me.
I don't have it.
Okay.
Probably, I want to guess 13, 14 miles, maybe.
It's a
Maybe way
big one. Whatever 175,000 cubic yards gets you, I guess.
I will say it's 16% over our engineer's estimate, but that seems to be the trend nowadays. You can't get something bid before the prices go up, so.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Item 9A and B are related. I had discussed with the council in executive session the need sometime back, or my proposed proposal for a communications and marketing director. The stuff that we've got going on in the city and pulling all that information together along with our branding and communicating that is, we've been doing that. Cody's been doing some of that. Jennifer's been doing some of that. We had a great intern all last year that was doing that we lost, and which really kind of pointed out just how much of it there was to do and what a full-time effort that really is. So, as for the council's okay to create that position, and presented a candidate that I thought would be outstanding for that. And that's my motion to approve ordinance 3892, establishing the position of communications and marketing director.
Second.
Job description, I know you guys have had it for a while, but it's in the packet. Any questions on this? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. And Bill, I apologize to you in advance as far as hiring away your talent there.
Mind if I say a little something?
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't mind.
I'm not gonna beg you to change your mind. I'm not going to
try to stop all of this. Matter of fact, the mayor knows this is the kind of thing that we've seen for Rachel's future for a long time, and we knew if the city didn't find a way to do this, that we were all going to lose her to somewhere else. And so we really appreciate the fact that as you considered creating this position, that you considered bringing her on. And Rachel is somebody who, if you pay attention at all to the things that we do, you know that she's just a cheerleader for progress. And her favorite thing to do is to stand out on the square here with me and do videos that we post all over social media that get all kinds of response. Our Marion Star Lives, talking about what the city's doing. She's had many times where she talked to the mayor, talked to Cody, others of you, and others involved with the city about the good things that are happening here. And so this is something she's been doing in some shape or form for quite a while. We brought her on right before COVID, not knowing the array of talents that she had. She was a business administration major. She worked for the Southern Illinois Miners. Rachel, somebody I've known personally since she was 12 years old. And she's just really blossomed into this position. During COVID, she was doing stuff with us daily, putting videos out as the mayor was communicating with us, and we were needing to communicate to the community, and did a fantastic job along with Victoria Shore and my son Riley and others that were doing that. And she's continued to do that. She's so well spoken, she's professional, she's positive. She'll be such a positive presence in City Hall. She's very personable, as anybody that knows her knows. And like I said, she's a cheerleader for progress. She's consistently challenging herself, growing and learning. She's a voracious reader. She takes courses. She's grown as a public speaker to the point where we used to script things for her. Now she can off the cuff everything that we do. She knows the story. She knows what the city's been doing. She knows as well as I do, if not better, everything that you've been involved in. We're both very much supporters of your work, and I couldn't give her a higher recommendation. She will represent you well, whether she's on the job or elsewhere. She will represent you well around the clock, as she has done for us. We look forward to working with her some and doing some things, bringing her in, letting her potentially bring in some city people to do some little podcast kind of things with us in our studio and do even more with her for the city. And we look forward to that. We have ourselves acquired, let's go ahead and announce that, we've ourselves acquired Aaron Price's little WFCN social media. I call it little. He's got twice as many followers as we do. He's got 50,000 followers on social media. So we've acquired that. We have a broader platform reaching farther. Our goal is just to continue to reach out farther into the region and beyond with the story of Marion. And she'll continue to do well on your behalf to tell that story. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk. She's on vacation. I've learned the last 2 weeks how much we're going to miss her day to day. She's somebody that will get her hands dirty. She, with all of her talents, she's not afraid to get her hands inky as on circulation day, sticking labels on hundreds and hundreds of papers every week to get those papers out. Little things like that. We'll miss just her willingness to get her hands dirty. She'll do whatever is needed to be done to serve you well. So just wanted to give her, in her absence, wanted to give her a recommendation. Thank you.
Bill, as you know, I've had her in mind for this position for quite a while, and I appreciate your graciousness and understanding. That's always a tough thing. I hate hiring people away from another business, whether that's in business or in the city, and this, especially when it's somebody just right across the square. But I know you want what's best for her, and I think this is a good opportunity both for the city and for her, so thank you. That'd be my motion to approve the recommendation of the mayor to hire Rachel Stroud to the position of Communications and Marketing Director.
Second that.
Any discussions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton?
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick?
Yay?
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin?
Yay.
Mayor Absher?
Yay. And then item 9C is something that has come before me and Glenn and Cody several times before that I didn't bring to you because the previous owner of these lots just wanted to sell them outright to the city, and I couldn't justify the cost of buying the lots and in one case refinishing it or paving it so that it could be used. Steve Fowler has recently acquired these lots. And basically his proposal is just if we'll pay the property tax on them, which is not very much annually, we can just lease those from him and designate those as city parking. So I think we'll get about 35, 38 parking places. Is that what you counted, 19 on each?
Yeah.
So obviously on the one lot, we'll have to put the paving down. I don't know what the cost of that is.
So,
Do you know?
when I wrote your intro, I didn't know that number, I do now. The cheapest bid that's come in so far, I'm still waiting on one, was 22,000. So, once those other bids come in, you'll have that in front of you at a later meeting.
Is that blacktop?
Yeah, asphalt,
Asphalt.
yeah.
We will pay for that out of project fund, not a general fund, so that won't impact our general revenue budget when that time comes. But relative to what's been proposed in the past, that's 38 pretty cheap parking places to get right here downtown and give us control over them. The previous owner on the one that's already paved always let us use them when they weren't using them, but they weren't dedicated. So these will be dedicated.
We'll assume all the liability, I guess, if God forbid somebody trips and falls. It's all
Yep,
us,
that's true. Yeah. So what you've got in your packet, other than the detail I just gave you, was the lease that Wendy drew up for these two properties, and that's what's before us, and that's my motion to approve the lease with Fowler Company LLC to lease 2 lots downtown for public parking. And again, we'll act separately on the expenditure later to, right?
Yes.
To pave the lots. The other lot we won't have to do, we may just put up some city parking signs or something so that they're ours as soon as we execute that lease. Any discussion?
Well, I apologize for missing it, but is there, Cody, where is the amount in here, or is that in here yet?
It just stipulates that we're gonna pay the property taxes, we're not actually exchanging any money with him. We think that'll be about $2,000 a year.
So, right now, they're about 1,500, but
Okay.
I assume once we pave that, given that they're the identical size, the tax bills will match, which will run us on average around $2,000 a year.
I got
A
you.
little bit
He's
more.
not getting any money
I
from
got
us
you.
for it,
Yeah,
I
we're
got
not
you.
paying him any.
which is a whole lot better deal incidentally than having to buy them,
Yeah,
which is what I was choking
so
on.
what we're doing is paying the property taxes every year
Yep,
and assuming the risk of liability
Yep.
with insurance and whatnot.
yep.
This is a 5-year agreement.
5 years renewable unless one of us
Auto
opts
renewable.
out.
Yeah, auto renewable, but we thought that we could depreciate that lot paving over 5 years, so.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay?
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stecklin,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Commissioner reports, Jim, we'll start with you, Jim.
Yeah, sidewalks, working on Monroe Street, Belcher, Highland, Van Buren, Copeland. You'll notice a lot of culvert work through town and ditch work ahead of the hot mix asphalt program. We're trying to get some of those crossroad pipes and stuff changing, because once you put the new mat down, you really don't want to dig into them, so I try to get that done ahead of time. Also, we're getting 21 alleys ready to oil and chip, so that's a big deal for us this year. That's going to be really nice, get those done as well. So, been doing some drainage work on there at Westminster and Cambridge Court. The asphalt program is scheduled to start around the 3rd week of July. The oil and chip program will probably be about a week before that, around mid-July. So, things will get busy. So I will ask the public to yield to any traffic control signs you see associated with that. So they'll try to keep traffic moving at all times, but might get a little congested. So, as far as the cemetery goes, we had 15 burials in May. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Stecklin?
All right, Public Works, we've got 2 meter pits were repaired and replaced, 7 water leaks were fixed, 5 services were updated, 2 new water taps were done, and 1 fire hydrant was repaired. If you all noticed, the east side water tower is all painted, it's all done. Talked to our superintendent today. Looks like it's filled and it's gonna go online probably the end of the week. So everybody on the east side of town should not see any drop in their pressure anymore, so look forward to that. I want to give a big kudos out. If you saw the I-57 bridge thing last night, drove out there and man, between the workers and the police and everybody that were out, they had that thing to a T. And it's amazing to see how many semis, when you see them coming down 13 now instead of 57, slower in a row. When we turned at 148 and 13, coming back, the semis were lined up from there to Heartland. That's how far back the line stretched. And they were controlling it. They were controlling the turn signals there, so they were letting lots go at once.
Mhm.
That's how many semis were coming through there. So kudos to everybody involved in that. That's all I got.
What is that, about a mile and a half? Mile?
That's it, very close.
Yeah. Okay, Commissioner Barwick?
Of the Marion Police Department activity report for the month of May, there were 87 city ordinance violations, 318 criminal or traffic citations, 26 warrant arrests, 411 incidents reported, 152 traffic accidents, and 5 DUIs. We had 2,170 dispatched calls, 2,333 911 calls, 5,201 non-emergency calls, and 245 ambulance calls. The Marion Police Department Narcotics Unit issued 156 citations, 59 arrests, 4 warrant arrests, seized 21.2 pounds of cannabis, 3.65 grams of a controlled substance, 33.9 grams of methamphetamine, 2 grams of MDMA, 3.65 grams of cocaine, and 3 controlled purchases, 1 search warrant, 2 alcohol offenses, and 4 weapon offenses. And that's all I have.
Mr. Patton?
The only thing I had, Mayor, was, as you all may or may not have known, public included, our treasurer's going to be retiring soon, and we've got the job description out there publicly to invite candidates that are interested in that position, so if you're interested, take a look at it.
Okay. Anything else to come before the council under miscellaneous? Item 1? Yes, sir.
I just think it would be a shame if we didn't mention the fact that this city lost somebody that Commissioner Patton and I got to know very, very well in high school this morning. That's Coach Fletcher. So I just think that he needs to be mentioned, because if you're a sports fan in Southern Illinois, you know who that man is. And got big chunks of my rear end missing because of that man. So.
Yet somehow the sweetest guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, our condolences to the Fletcher family. They've had a lot to go through in the last couple of months, and it's going to be a very tough situation. Anything else under miscellaneous? Okay, item 12, I do not have a need for an executive session unless anybody else does. Okay, hearing no need for executive, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Patton,
Yay.
Commissioner Barwick,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Stefan,
Yay.
Mayor Absher.
Yay. Thank you all.